Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So let me ask you something, right? As a project manager, how much of your day-to-day work genuinely goes into managing your inbox? Not reading a report, not updating a project plan, just managing your emails. Now, if you are honest with yourself, it's probably more than you'd like to admit, right? I mean, we can all relate to that sinking feeling when after a long weekend or holiday, you open your inbox and there are hundreds of emails sitting there for you, waiting to be answered, to be forwarded, to be analyzed, or maybe just to be ignored. This is where AI, if used the right way, can dramatically improve your productivity as a project manager. Now, most project managers assume AI tools are only useful for the big stuff, right? For example, generating status reports, building risk registers, drafting project charters, so on and so forth. However, on the other side of the spectrum, the biggest unproductive use of your time as a project manager, which is your inbox, is often left completely untouched by AI. And that's a massive missed opportunity. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use AI tools like Claude, Copilot, and ChatGPT to take control of your inbox as a project manager. We'll cover a handful of practical points, starting from why email overload hits project managers particularly hard, to a simple triage method you can set up today to improve your email workflow. And we'll also, very important, discuss about the guardrails you need absolutely to have before you hand over any of your inbox to our AI engine. So let's get into it. And yes, if you like such content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. So first, let's start with the numbers because they are worse than most professionals think. So according to Microsoft's own 2026 Work Trend Index study, an average professional receives around 117 emails a day, okay? And here is that part that should really concern you. Only about a quarter of those emails are actually important. Now, most professionals like legal or procurement or finance, they just deal with their own specific work streams, right? However, as a project manager, you don't have that luxury. You are getting emails from sponsors, from your project team, from vendors, suppliers, from finance, from stakeholders, who all think that their message is the priority, right? I remember many instances of managing multiple concurrent projects, and honestly, the inbox was often more demanding than the project plan itself. So if you think about it, every email could be a scope change, a risk, an escalation, a budget decision, or maybe just noise dressed up as urgent, right? And you have to figure it out that which one is what every single time. So that constant context switching isn't just tiring, it is expensive. It pulls you away from the actual work of a project manager, which is managing your project, right? Now let's look at exactly how an AI workflow can help you cut through that noise. So let's break it down into 3 simple steps. I call it the 3 C's framework for AI email triage: choose, connect, and communicate. Now, before you do anything else, the first step is choosing the right tool. And this is very important from a GDPR standpoint, right? Remember, you can only sync your inbox with an AI model that your organization has actually approved, whether that's Claude, Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, or Gemini. Never ever connect your work email to a personal or unapproved AI account, okay? Because the consequence of that can be quite serious because it's about protecting sensitive project and client data. Right, so now that's sorted, The second step is connecting your inbox properly, usually through a connector or an add-in, so that the AI can actually read your emails rather than you copy pasting them one by one all the time, okay? All leading AI models, for example, ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot or Gemini, will allow you to do that natively within your enterprise ecosystem. You can take help from your IT department to help you set it up in a compliant way. And the third step is the prompt itself, via which you can communicate with your newly set up AI agent. You want to ask your AI assistant to sort your inbox into clear buckets. For example, the first could be urgent and needs a response. The second type of emails could be information and only. And the third type of email could be of low priority, okay? So for a project manager, that might mean flagging a stakeholder escalation as urgent, a status update as informational, and a vendor newsletter as low priority. And here is the thing, once you have set up this properly, you are not starting your day reading emails randomly from start to finish, right? You already know exactly where your attention needs to go first. So now, with this entire process that your inbox is triaged, let's talk about turning that into your actual daily priorities. Because see, if you think about it, triage isn't enough alone in itself, right? It definitely tells you what urgent, but it doesn't tell you what actually to do with it during your day, right? So this is where you combine your inbox with your calendar or your project schedule. Once your AI agent has sorted your urgent emails, you can prompt it to compare that list against your calendar for today and tomorrow, or maybe the week per se, okay? Ask it to flag anything that creates a conflict, anything that needs preparation before a meeting, and anything that can genuinely wait, okay? For a project manager, this might mean the AI tells you that a sponsor's urgent query needs your response before your 11 o'clock steering committee meeting. Or let's say in another example, it might sort of tell you that a vendor escalation should be addressed before you walk into a stakeholder review. Now, I myself used to follow this process manually even 6 months back, okay? Which is to mentally cross-reference emails against meetings and against to-do lists. And honestly, it is exactly this kind of task that eats into your morning before you have done any real project work, okay? And of course, misses are bound to happen. However, on the other side, once your AI agent does this cross-referencing for you, your day stops to be reactive, right? You walk into every meeting already knowing what's outstanding and what's been handled. And there are no slips and misses now that your AI agent is working 24/7, even when you are sleeping or even when you are in holiday. Right, so now once you trust this process, you can even automate it to run every single morning as a scheduled task within your AI model, okay? However, before you get too comfortable handing this over to your newly set up AI agent, let's talk about the compliance guardrails you need to put in place, because if that is done incorrectly, the whole system can backfire on you and it can have a catastrophe before you even know of it. So a few quite important non-negotiables here, right? Firstly, never let AI send emails on your behalf without your approval. Drafting is fine, sending isn't, okay? Not yet. So when you are prompting your AI agent, make sure you instruct it to write your responses and save it in the drafts folder rather than sending it off directly, okay? Because that gives you the opportunity to do a final sanity check before the emails are being sent off. Secondly, be extremely careful with confidential project or client data. And that is the reason you should only resort to the AI tool which your organization natively allows you to use. And thirdly, start this entire workflow as a small minimum viable product, right? Like an MVP. I mean, we are all PMs, so why not put that knowledge to use? Build trust with a simple triage workflow before you start automating your entire morning routine, okay? Remember, feasibility first, efficiency second, and automation last. Get this sequence right and AI becomes a genuine extension of you, okay? Not a liability. So let's bring all this together, right? So the hours that you reclaim after you have set up this workflow efficiently aren't just the admin time which comes back for you, right? That's the time you get to spend now actually managing your projects, motivating your team, thinking the strategic items which you need to sort of work out, and shifting your focus to what actually matters as a project manager, right? I hope this now makes sense for you. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps the channel to grow, and I'll see you in the next one.